Good morning, everyone. It is December 2nd. Happy holidays to everybody. Hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm grateful to be on this committee, and thank you for all of you for all the hard work that you do on behalf of our town and the business community. We need to approve the minutes for November. If you have all had a chance to take a look at those.
Did I send them all?
I don't know if you did or
I
not.
don't think I did.
No.
I don't know. I don't know where my head went to.
So we will send the minutes out and approve them at our next
week,
meeting.
next month,
Next month's meeting.
And Laura, just, you can always post draft minutes and just note that they're not approved, just so people can follow along.
You mean with the clerk's office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can still post them, and just even if you put at the header, not yet approved, but just draft even as a watermark. That way, if people are looking for the minutes, so they're not waiting a month.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so today's agenda, today we have a presentation on the specialized energy code. We're going to talk about the EDC calendar. That's going to be, we'll just talk about next year's meetings and make sure that we are all on the same page. We'll have committee reports, EDC awards, Karen and Dave, business assistant grants, Eslam and Danny, civic engagement ambassador Shelby, and then small business and downtown events, Mike. So we'll have quite a bit of time to be able to review the committees. Jenny will provide the planning report, and Laura will give us an update on the EDC and community development, and then we'll have any new business. So let's get started. Is Pete available? Yep. So, good morning, Pete.
Good morning. I'm Peter Flynn. I'm the chair of Sustainability. Pete Dunbeck, a committee member, is supposed to be with me this morning. I don't see him yet on the screen or in the room. I guess he'll be joining us momentarily. But I'll kick it off. If you're not familiar with Sustainable Westborough, it's a committee of town government. Our role is to provide advice to all of town government and implementation support to town staff on sustainability issues, especially with respect to the climate action plan that has been approved by the select board. That plan calls for the town to take actions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions across the community in line with the Commonwealth's goals embodied in state law. Those goals call for a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions from 1990 baseline levels by 2030, and to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. To achieve these objectives, Sustainable Westborough is considering proposing to town meeting that it adopt what is known as the Specialized Energy Code. We know that the Specialized Energy Code will reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with new buildings. That's in fact what its purpose is. However, in order for Sustainable Westborough to make an informed decision on whether to ask town meeting to approve the code, we want to understand what the implications would be for other town priorities, including economic development, which is why we asked to meet with you today. We have a brief slide presentation that will report on our research to date and on our future outreach plans to the community. We want to share our early findings and what we're learning about regarding the implications for economic development, especially multifamily housing development. In particular, we want to discuss the code's requirement that new multifamily housing be designed and built to conform to what is known as the Passive House Standard. And finally, going beyond greenhouse gas emissions and economic development, we will identify some other reasons why it may make sense for Westborough to change its energy code. So with that, I had planned to turn it over to Pete, but I don't see him.
No, he's not here.
He just
No.
he just emailed me. Looks like he was having trouble getting on. I just sent him another link. So hopefully he'll be on in a second.
Okay.
Okay. Then with that, could you bring up the slides, or I guess if you don't have the slides, I'll find them on my computer because I was planning on Pete doing that. But let me find the slides, and I will have to bring them up on mine and then share my screen, I guess.
He's the LR.
I don't have, oh, sorry. I don't even see that. Not that,
I am,
there we go. Let's see.
oh, Pete has joined. Pete, I just went through the introduction and we're ready for the slide presentation.
Okay,
Morning, Pete.
sorry for the delay. I had unable to get in. Sorry. Okay, you've seen the slides now?
We're seeing the
We see them,
yeah.
and
If you can
Yep.
put it in presentation, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, so again, Peter, I believe, talked to these points, the topics we're going to be discussing. Our proposal is, as Peter indicated, to adopt the specialized energy code. And I wanted to begin by introducing a little bit about the energy code and in the fact that it is a new option available in Massachusetts as of 2023. We're currently on the stretch energy code, and we have been for about 8 or 10 years. These codes changed in 2023, significantly increasing the thermal code energy efficiency at that time, but also introducing this new specialized energy code, which is encouraging adoption and implementation of electric heating systems, so electrification of the buildings. This has already been adopted by 30% of the population of the state, the municipalities representing 30%. Our proposal is to have an effective date of January 2027, and this would need to be, will be presented and needs to be approved by the town meeting in March. And we have an opportunity to pick the effective date we want. The key goal for Sustainable Westborough is to continue making progress on the state's programs for municipalities in climate mitigation actions. Their new program is called Climate Leader Community, and a specialized energy code adoption is a requirement for climate leader designation. With this new designation, we open Westborough up to significant new grant funds for decarbonization of municipal buildings of the order of $1 million a year, $1 million per cycle, let's say. We are taking this very cautiously and very seriously in regard to what the full implications of this are to Westborough, and have begun a series of meetings, including the people that are listed here, the Boston Society of Architects, NAIOP is a real estate development nonprofit, Boston Housing Department, the Passive House MA, who's the lead agency for promoting Passive House in Massachusetts, DOER, of course. We've also talked to two construction companies, Davis Companies and Post Road Residential. We have other outreach that's been initiated with Consigli Construction and Coangelo Construction. And we have meetings scheduled with the Affordable Housing Group in Westborough, the Advisory Finance Committee, and we plan to go to the Planning Board and the Select Board further on in the process. A key event for us will be having a public meeting and kind of combination webinar, teaching opportunity in partnership with DOER and Passive House, and that's planned for late January, early February. So what are the implications of the specialized energy code? First, and very importantly, is it's new construction only. So additions, renovations, and so forth, historic buildings are all excluded. It does cover all building types. And for all building types, except for multifamily housing, the rules are pretty simple. If you go all electric, there's no change from the stretch energy code. So there's no impact at all. For fossil fuel, if you're going to use natural gas in your system, in your house, there are two additional requirements. First is pre-wiring for future electrification. And the point is that it's much, much cheaper to wire for electrification when you're building the new building. So this is usually a relatively minor cost, but it is a cost if you choose to use natural gas for heating. And you also have solar on your facility, on your building. The amount of solar varies depending on building type, and there's carve-outs for shading and other local issues on the site. Multifamily housing is got a different requirement, an additional requirement, in that it must be certified to the Passive House standards. So I'd like to spend a minute on Passive House standards and what that implies in building construction. The first point is that it's a vigorous process to ensure that the construction meets the performance standards. There's other methods, TEDI and HERS and so forth, which are used, but in general, the Passive House is a more vigorous process. As a result of this, you're sure you have the performance standards, and it produces lower utility bills and healthier environment for tenants. The air handling and the air refresh rate is carefully dictated. And it's enforced by Passive House engineers. So the developer retains the services. In a lot of these, there's HERS raters and others that need to get involved. In this case, it's Passive House engineering needs to be involved in the design and the implementation of the project. So of course, it all comes down to economics. We have reviewed various estimates of what the construction cost premiums are, and they vary widely. Generally, it's people with the most experience have the lowest estimates for what the construction premiums are. There is studies that have been done by DOER. We think these numbers could be as low as 0, and we've heard numbers as high as in the teens. It's hard to tell what people are comparing to when they give the quotes. Usually, as we peel it back, they're comparing to some old standard that doesn't apply anymore. What we need to compare to is the stretch energy code, because that's what we're on now. And we believe that the cost could be quite low. We did talk in detail to a developer who had experience with this, and after his learning cycle on his first building, he believes the costs are going to be 1% to 2%. Consigli Construction had done work for DOER, comparing the specialized energy code to the old stretch code, and came up with a 3.5% premium. But we are reaching out to them to get more detail of what they think it would be compared to the new stretch code.
Pete, I want to interrupt you for just a minute. We only have a few more minutes, and I'd like you to kind of focus a little bit more on the business community. This committee is really focused on the business community versus housing, and I understand it's all interrelated, but we only have a few more minutes for your presentation.
Okay, this entire slide is about commercial construction of multifamily housing. So it is that part of the commercial construction. Okay. If I go back to this slide, the center bullet there is all of the other commercial construction, retail, office space, schools, municipal buildings are all in the center bullet.
Okay.
If you build it all electric, there's no change.
Thank you.
And if you, okay. This is the commercial construction of large multifamily. So far, we're starting to get data in regard to the implication on housing development. Again, it's the large multifamily housing we're focused on. And we have no evidence to date that the adoption hinders housing development. So the kind of the punchline of why change, we gain access to new grant funds, we reduce emissions, and it's the lowest life cycle cost. So in regard to all of the building types, including the office and the retail, DOER studies and so forth have all shown that it has very small capital cost premium, and that capital cost pays for itself over time in lower utility bills. The last point I didn't make as I was going through that was there's significant mass save rebates that offset and may significantly reduce any cost premium, may even eliminate it in some cases. Sandy, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Is that clear to everybody?
Yeah, what are going to be the regulations for the businesses that are trying to come into town? What are some of the difficulties and the hurdles that they're going to have to jump through?
Businesses coming into town that aren't building multifamily, there's no hurdles, no impediments. It's the stretch energy code for all electric buildings. There's none.
Meaning,
Multifamily has to do the passive house process. So when you say businesses, you're referring to office buildings and retail?
I am, yeah, yeah.
So there is none, zero impact if you build all electric.
Okay.
well, so Pete, this is Shelby. So what I heard though, and on this slide, is that additions and renovations are excluded. So let's say you have an existing shopping plaza and you have a new business that wants to come in and take up square footage there. And they're doing a build out. Obviously, they have to meet current code, which is our stretch energy code. You're saying that they would not be, if this were to be passed, they would not be required to meet any aspects of the specialized energy code?
Yes,
Okay.
zero.
Okay. Sorry.
Peter, did you have something?
I would say it a little differently. I would say if they meet the stretch code, they also meet the specialized code. So there's no incremental change if it's a major renovation.
Okay, thank you. Right. And again, just to be clear for anyone watching or at any point, we've already adopted the stretch energy code, right, Fred? Just
Yes.
looking over at you.
Yeah,
So-
you'd have to adopt.
Yeah,
We were already
my
struck.
answer,
We're already there. So there's no change. Okay, thank you.
my answer was in regard to the impact of the specialized code, which the none is in regard to that.
Yep.
The stretch code has requirements, and those are new requirements, and whether we say yes or no on this question, we have to meet the stretch code.
Any other questions?
And so all of the office buildings, all of the industrial park, all of that is in the center bullet, and as long as it's being built to all electric, there's no change from the stretch code. In renovations and additions, there's no change. It's a specific carve out, so we must meet the stretch code.
Okay. I think Pete,
Is it fair to say that large buildings right now are being built electric, or will large buildings like new warehouses or plants or whatever? I mean, I know we're trying to attract some large companies. Are you're making the assumption that they're all electric. Is that how most buildings are being built that are of scale? Or are they going to have to add solar and pre-wire, so they're going to think about it as an extra cost?
I would defer to others on what the building response is to the stretch code and in this requirement. We have seen much more electric, large buildings being built to all electric standards. But let me respond to the specific point. I don't think it's going to be 100%. So if they choose to do fossil fuels, they'll have to pre-wire for future electrification, which again is usually, small dollars in a large project because the electricians are there and the walls are open and so forth. And the solar tends to pay for itself. So it's a significant capital cost, but it pays for itself in the on-site generation. And there's an ROI in that. So it's not a pure expense, but it is a change.
Any other questions?
Just quickly, so Pete, as the adoption for other municipalities increases, obviously you'll update this slide, I think that's important. I also think that it's communication on this is going to be really important, like 7 times, because the perception will be, if it's being considered to be adopted, that this is moving the needle further, and those that are resistant to it are going to think, oh, it's going to be that much more difficult. The way you've presented it here is, it seems like the impact is really on large multifamily housing development, and the impact of cost there is, that's still a cycle that you're researching, and it's really brand new construction. And so, and again, I don't even know what the definition of brand new construction is. If you have an existing building and you tear 70% of it down, is it still, you know what I mean? Like, is it still an addition? Is it still a renovation, or is that new construction? I don't know. But my point is that I think communication on what this is and isn't is going to be really, really important as you go to those other boards and committees. And then certainly as we get out to businesses to make sure that they understand, because, this feels a little bit like it almost sounds too good to be true, just to be really honest with you. Meaning you do this, you become eligible, there's only a certain portion kind of subject to this code, and we're eligible for grants, yay, right? But the skeptic in me, and others will say, what else is below the surface here that we're not looking at? So just be aware of that. And I'm not saying you're not trying to be forthcoming with that. Just be aware of those, what do they call it? The third wire, the middle wire?
Yeah.
Third rail.
The third rail, that
yeah.
one, the wire, the rail. Yeah,
And
that's all.
That's the reason behind
All
my
electric, exactly, right.
And that's the reason behind my question of the downside. So, this committee has been very focused on, making our community business friendly, not adding more regulations and more changes, to allow businesses to come in. And I hear a large capital expense coming up front, and then they recoup their money. But we all know that solar, you recoup your money in years and years and years. So, asking people for that big capital expense to come in could deter them from coming into our community.
We have tried to reach out to developers. Are there some that you would recommend and potentially help us make connection with? Because we'd like to have those discussions.
Have you reached out to Atlantic Management and Caruth Capital?
We can reach out to them. No, we haven't.
Okay, those would be 2, and Ferris Development would be the other that I put on there.
Yep.
Those are the 3 big ones that immediately come to mind as commercial developer.
Kelleher.
And Kelleher, that's
Sadowski.
the person that came in, or they were doing real estate. But anyway, Sandy has a connection. They presented, I think, at the October meeting on some JLL, excuse me. So anyway, you guys can connect with Laura. But I think there are definitely some others out there to connect with.
Yes, I think there's more work to be done before we as a committee, make any sort of recommendations or decisions, because there's just not enough information here to help us to make that decision until we get some more research from the commercial realtors in the area. So I want to be able to make sure we stick with our agenda today and
Yeah.
continue to move on.
Yeah, no, we're trying to condense the discussion, so we will be happy to come back and have more details.
Cindy, if I may?
Yeah.
Just for the record, I am not in support of this,
I'm not either.
and both Peters know that.
Can you expound? upon
Sure.
that? Just-
So without getting into too much detail, I've been involved with DOER for the last year and a half, maybe going on 2. And I don't think the rollout has been, it's not been good on the inspectional side. So I continue to work on that, but we're not getting support from the secretaries that oversee these regulations.
And if I recall.
So that means you get slowed down? Is that what that means? Does that mean the reason is you're not getting the support to get permits through?
It's not so much the permitting, it's the actual implementation of the code. That's where I think the state has fallen down.
Right,
And I've
here's-
made that abundantly clear.
Right, here's a policy, but you don't necessarily have the tools in which to actually implement it and enforce it.
In my humble opinion, yes.
And Fred and I have had many discussions about this, and it applies to the stretch code in the specialized code as an increment on that, which Fred is sensitive to, which I don't blame him. But the majority of the issues that Fred and I have discussed apply to the stretch code.
Right.
Great. Well, thank you for any other questions, comments, anybody? No? Great. We look forward to seeing you
I
guys
just
come
have one
back.
quick one.
Sure. Yeah.
I just have one quick one.
course.
For when you come back, when I see 30% of the state has adopted it and 70 hasn't, I would like to know if communities have actually rejected it or they're just being slow to adopt it because it does have a lot of process.
Great.
Sort of that devil's advocate side. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
We can come back with information on that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Peter and Pete. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So next on the agenda is the EDC calendar discussion. Laura, do you have that?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Just wait. I guess I could just share it, right?
Yeah. Obviously, we're looking at holidays for next year and what the calendar is going to look like for our meetings coming up.
Whoa. What's going on? Oh, nice. I just have it on this slide here.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, let me
So-
get it to the.
I think it's good.
Oh, it's big. Okay.
January 6th, 3rd, March 3rd, April 7th, May 5th, July 7th. That's the question. That was one of our question marks. That's July 4th week. We can move it to the following week, or we can take July off. Any thoughts?
Mike's trying to say something.
Oh, Mike?
No. He can't.
Sorry, hand gestures to other people.
Any thoughts?
I think we take July off.
Take
Most
July
of
off?
the people will be traveling at this time.
Okay. Everybody else feel the
Agree
same
with
way?
that, yeah.
Okay. All right. August 4th, September 1st or the 8th. The first would be, is that the day after Labor Day? I don't think so. I think Labor Day is probably going to be the 7th, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7th.
Yeah. So September 1st, good for you guys? Labor Day? Yeah. Before Labor Day? Okay. And October 6th, November 3rd, and then December 1st. So calendar will be, we'll have a meeting every single month except for July of next year. And then September 1st will be our September meeting. Everybody good?
Laura, can you send those to us if you haven't already? I don't recall receiving these.
Yeah, we were just going to talk about today and then.
Oh, okay, I'm
finalize
sorry,
it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was being presented
Yeah.
here, not an email. I got it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
My-
Okay.
Sorry.
We need to take a vote on that, or
Do we need to take a vote on that?
no?
Chris? No? Okay. All right. Thanks. I'm still learning the rules of the road. Just kidding. All right, committee reports, which I'm very excited about. So EDC awards, Karen and Dave, what's going on? Look at all your paper, Karen.
Happy to pass out. Obviously, Dave and I met a couple of times over this, and I apologize for missing the last meeting, or you would have had this in your hands by then. And thank you for your wonderful support during that time.
You also have, in your email, you did get the list
Yeah.
of awards that Karen is giving out.
So, Dave and I met a couple of times after some thoughtful consideration. We looked at the award nominations over the last few years. There was quite a few different categories, and then we took a hard look at our business community. And obviously, we've made as many nominations as possible under certain categories, and certainly open for discussion here. But Dave and I will both weigh in on a few of these, and except for sustainable business, I think we were relying on them to give us some suggestions for that award, but these are two that we had looked at previously. I think that was suggested by them, and we might want to circle back to them. So, Dave, you want to
Yeah,
start
I
talking
mean,
about these?
as always, some of these are pretty self-evident, and other ones are up for discussion. But, you know, in terms of small business awards, we came up with Fred Astaire and Westborough Collective. Fred Astaire, we thought was great because it's got, you know, it's a well-established brand, a well-established name. People will travel. They've already had a ton of PR visibility with their Dancing with the Stars promo and so forth. So they're really kind of making it happen. Westborough Collective, we looked at as a potential because they repurposed some inactive space. They reinvented themselves. They're trying to collaborate with other local businesses, et cetera. So we thought that was worth consideration. Brio 33, as we've said before, is kind of a no-brainer. That is a major reinvestment, a major reopening of a vacant, you know, it's a very special spot in our town, and to see the amount of effort and involvement to rekindle this business, I think is pretty impressive. And then in terms of large business award nominees, the Willows has always been very visible in town. They have kind of launched an initiative where they are just doing more and more and more outreach and trying to get people down there, and they sponsor concerts and all sorts of things that are very community oriented and very strong.
community oriented. Yeah.
The Big Y, just by its nature, is a big deal. We haven't seen a ton of public exposure yet from them, but you know, that remains to be seen what they have in mind. But just the sheer fact that we have a new major grocery chain in town is something worth recognizing as well. And as Karen pointed out, sustainable, we did reach out to the sustainable committee for some suggestions, and I think they're still working on recommendations. These are ones that we came up with on our own: Pulte Home and Guarantee Management. But if there are anyone else, Laura, you might have some suggestions regarding sustainable businesses that are doing great things to forward the you know, sustainable initiatives.
I think some of those were EV stations. I think some of those were.
Yeah, one of them wasn't
Yes.
it?
Guarantee
Guarantee.
Management.
Guarantee
what
was.
that is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think two of these were looking to install EV stations last year, but we were looking for the committee for some direction on that too. Yep.
But you want to take the rest?
Yep. Best Expansion Award, obviously, if you have gone down towards Milk Street, heading towards Route 9, you have seen a large piece of property taken, reinvented. Mass Restoration, Ben and Westborough, and expanded their company, but also put a big storage unit. That, to me, has been a very significant expansion. Hall of Fame nominees, there's clearly quite a few people we feel in town could be recognized, but we looked at Ullman's, who's been part of our community for 58 years. It is a destination spot in this community. It brings people from outside the region. They've also partnered with a lot of food trucks and a lot of local businesses to branch out and do some interesting things. Big part of our community. And then Pickering and Son Funeral Home, I believe it's 150 years this year. Yeah, and obviously they're a big staple of this community for many, many years. So we kind of looked at them as some Hall of Fame nominees. And in taking a good look at, and something that we kind of adopted last year, we did end up looking at some of our wonderful community initiatives for our Civic Pride Award, and it was somebody that celebrated significantly last year. And we were looking at a couple that make a real huge difference to our community. Westborough Rotary Club, obviously, a lot of initiatives to support the Westborough community, always constantly giving back. The big weekend this past weekend, launching our holiday season, and it really brings the community together. And the Westborough Garden Club couldn't do a better job in keeping this community beautiful, attractive. The aesthetics of our community is well recognized. Obviously, I like nothing better when I go through the center of town during this time of year. So there's a lot of good things to talk about, all the good work, but that's the initial part of our nomination process. Obviously, there's only one for each award, so we submitted as many options as we could, and we're happy to entertain any other ideas.
Yeah, I think the creative, I forget what it's called. Not the
No.
collective, but the
Craft Lab.
the craft lab. I think that for a new downtown business might be a good, because again, that's a place for everybody, for families. It will attract people.
New downtown or small business?
Could be either one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
could be downtown. It is. So that was one that I was thinking about. The new Mexican place that opened up as well. Yeah. They've a little bit of a splash over there, and they've done a lot of work inside that renovation. So just a couple others. That's what I was thinking about.
I just don't remember. So I remember a couple of years ago, there was voting online. I just don't remember what this slate of nominees, are we just going to vote on them, or was there an intent to put any of it online?
There was 2 awards that used to be done online,
yeah, okay.
Hall of Fame and Civic Pride.
Okay.
That's up for the committee for discussion.
I see.
So if I may, I only have one comment on the business you've chosen. Almonds, albeit it recognizing is great, but we did give them longstanding business in 23.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it would be difficult not to recognize a 150-year-old business, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree with
agreed.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's
And the only other
Sorry,
comment-
for the new person here.
Sorry.
Can you say again how these names came about? Where they came from prior nominations?
No, the committee.
I'm trying to understand. Yeah,
Yeah, the
the
committee.
committee of the two of you,
Yeah,
or is there a broader committee?
it's the two.
No, it's a subcommittee of 2, and now we're throwing it out to the larger committee to see if there's any additional additions.
But Mike, if I may, I provide a list of all the businesses in town. So they're working on a very large list and then whittle it down.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. And I appreciate that. I was just trying to understand the criteria. Like when we were giving awards, we had all this criteria and scoring and things like that. And I wouldn't even know how to begin to whittle it down. So I appreciate your efforts. It just it comes across to me as a little bit random. So that's why I wouldn't even know how to vote.
Yeah, the only other comment I had is if you're going to send this out for public comment, like the Hall of Fame and the Civic, and we don't vote on it until January, it's going to make the award timing
Because
pretty tight, if not
Karen's gonna
impossible,
need,
right?
because Karen needs time to be able to
Prepare
do
the
all the
videos.
videos.
if we're
I just want to be clear. I wasn't recommending it. I just, especially the 2 categories that only
Right.
have 1 currently. I was just concerned about how that would be voted on if it was going out. I just couldn't remember.
We
Yeah,
chose
no,
not to do
absolutely.
it last year.
I'm sorry?
We did choose not to put it out last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not saying that you could. You
no, exactly.
Can or can't, but if
I know where
if you
Karen's
do,
got a lot of quick deadlines.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's a good idea to ask for public input, but it doesn't seem really practical. And we also had a discussion: should everything be out, for public input or nothing? And I think in this case, I think we know the business community well enough amongst ourselves to make strong recommendations.
I certainly wouldn't want to pit ate an ice cream next to a funeral home. I would definitely not do that for Hall of Fame. And we both need it in our community.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Who got Civic Pride last year?
Civic
Civic
Club.
Oh, right, that's
Yeah,
right.
they had 100, there was their
I
100
couldn't
year.
think of it off the top
Yeah.
of my head, but
Yeah.
yes.
I was just thinking that if that
And then-
wasn't
and
them, it should be.
The advocate got.
Yeah,
the,
they got recognized
Yeah.
for their.
So obviously
Has the
I'm a
Rotary
member.
been recognized any time recently? The Rotary?
Rotary.
I didn't see it.
I don't think so.
How does Westborough Connects land in that category? Is that something that's eligible? And
They were- they
2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think
2 years.
They got it a couple of years
it
ago.
makes sense. I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about post 22 and what those efforts are? Where would that kind of thing fall for another new kind of interesting nonprofit?
Love the work that they do. We were just looking at some longtime nominees
Yeah,
here.
it's,
But they could be a new business. They're just a nonprofit. They would be in
True.
the new business category.
Yep,
okay.
Again,
that's fine.
yeah, but not as a civic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the civic pride thing has not been a big push, over all the years of this. It became pretty evident to us that the Rotary is one of the more active groups in town, and we thought that if anybody's going to be recognized for years and years of involvement, we should recognize them.
Yeah, because they've been around for 52 years. I no longer belong to the Westborough Club. I'm now in Blackstone Valley. So
Oh, wow.
I'm highly,
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely, the Rotary Club does a lot of work.
Well, you have so many civic organizations that do a lot of work. We're never going to run out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of good work being done here.
So, two questions. Is it the intent that we would be selecting these today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because Karen needs the time and we're about a month behind. We had delayed a month.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, one suggestion, and this is, I think, is important for any new members, but honestly, as a refresher for those of us who have been around for a while, I do think we need, and I can't find it online, I'm looking, descriptions of, the title is sort of evident, small business, but what does that mean? What are we looking at? You guys provided some color around that, but I do think we need sort of an explanation of, what is a sustainable business nominee? Like, what's a best expansion? Again, some of that is self-evident, but I do think we, as a future action, we should build that out. It also should be on our website so that folks understand that, because I do think that without criteria, I think particularly for newer members, it becomes harder. Like, well, what am I basing my vote on?
I've
That's
never seen criteria.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
So,
so I know we're not going to solve that today.
Oh, I get it.
And understand that we need to, kind of have a vote. I do think also part of that criterion where my thought was going here is some of these are pretty newly established and and I know that you looked at the whole list, but memories like, and maybe it just is that all of these kind of came online and are new businesses in the last 2 or 3 months, right? But what happened last February, I don't know. I
Right,
don't remember
right.
what happened like last week,
Yeah.
right?
And you're right. So
But
when we
Laura's
looked
giving
at
you
all
the full
these.
list,
Yep.
and so this is what you came up with.
Yep.
So I'm comfortable with that. Yep.
It doesn't make it easy.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing about the definitions of there's so much gray area, they would have to be very broad definitions. Like what does a large business
Entail.
entail? Is it a certain number of
Yeah.
employees? Is it done
Right,
great
Dan.
expansion?
In our world, it is,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah.
and I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm just not, just as a response, I'm not saying that we should get down to must meet these criteria. I
Right.
just think there should be a placeholder. When people go to look at all the awards, they go, oh, wow, tell me more about what these awards mean.
We do that. Yes. The chamber does that.
Danny?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit to understand.
Can you come to your mic for me? Thank you.
Pulte Homes, what sustainability, what do they do?
We can't answer those questions. We'll have to get the,
Like,
the
what do they
sustainable.
actually do here in
Answer that if you
town?
want.
Yeah.
So they,
Are they
actually,
based here?
I'm sorry?
Are they based here or do they build here?
They build, they're doing an over 55 development on Lyman Street. They have been since 2020.
Del Webb.
I'm sorry?
Del Webb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay.
That's a Pulte development.
Yep.
So they actually converted from gas units to their buildings are now all electric.
Okay.
So I suspect that's the idea of why it would have.
Yeah, these came, I think, a year ago, and we asked for some updates. We don't know the answer for the sustainable business, to be honest. We
Yeah,
put
that's
these
it.
in, these were 2 suggestions from a year ago. So, yep.
Was that from Sustainable Westborough, Karen?
Yes.
Or- Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that makes some sense that they're kind of in tune to that. I don't know. You had mentioned guaranteed
Yep.
management or I don't know them, so I don't
I
know
think there
what
was
they do.
voluntary compliance with like EV charging, et cetera, et cetera.
We really do need some direction from them because we.
Sure.
So can we agree that we're not going to vote on
Yeah.
that category at
Yep.
this point?
I would say,
Okay.
yeah, we can do that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go from the bottom up. Is Westborough Rotary or the Garden Club, are we in agreement that it'll be the Rotary?
Well, I think we need a motion, right? I mean, that's how we would, right, do that from a,
So I was going to read this, like, let's pick, and then we'll do a motion for the list.
okay.
Does that work?
We can ask-
Well, I guess I'm just saying with 2, I think the better way to do it would be to have a nomination, if you have 2 to choose from.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to save time.
No, I
Okay.
understand that. I just don't, if you want to do it that way, I just think then it's like you're deciding.
Is there a
what I'm saying.
motion for the Westborough Rotary Club or the Garden
I
Club?
would put out a motion to nominate the Westboro Rotary for Civic Pride Award.
Seconded.
Roll call.
If you keep asking us, we're just going to do it.
Yeah, no, that's,
Mike?
but that's fine.
Mike? Mike, I'm starting with you.
Okay, yeah, I approve or vote yes.
Jenny?
Drinkers, yes.
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 Can I vote yes if I'm a member?
No. Coker, yes.
I mean, I don't stand any better than
Lebanese.
yes.
Okay, so Westborough Rotary Club Civic Pride Award. All right, awesome. All right, Hall of Fame, Yeomans or Pickering and Sons. Can I get a motion for,
I would nominate Pickering.
I would second that.
okay, Mike?
Carol abstain.
Okay, Jenny?
Yes.
Drinkers, yes.
Yes.
Williams, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Bagden, yes.
Marshall, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Lebanese.
Okay, so that's Pickering and Sons. Business Best Business Expansion Award nominee, Mass Restoration. There's only one, so we'll just call that a yes. If Sustainable Business,
You have to do a vote, though.
oh, let me do a vote. Okay,
Sorry.
it's okay. Can we get a motion for Mass Restoration?
Motion to approve mass
Second.
restoration.
Mike?
Carol abstain.
Drinkers, yes.
Yes.
Williams, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Bagden, yes.
Yes, Marshall, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Lebanese.
Okay, there's Mass Restoration. We're going to wait on the Sustainable Business Award till we get some more information. Large Business Award nominee, the Willows at Westborough or the Big Y. Can I get a motion for one or the other?
I have a motion to approve the Willows of Westboro.
I'd second that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So do we have a sense of what the economic impact is of the build out of the Big Y? Like, it feels a little bit on this one. So large business to me means, it doesn't say new, but it says large business. And this is, I mean, to me, the build out there was pretty significant. And again, I don't know about the tax implication, but sorry, that's probably my select board hat on here. I feel like these two are very apples and oranges. That to me is like Willows, what they bring, what they are doing, the community outreach, the different ways in which they are engaging with the community is very different than looking at a brand new business that took over a massive open space to provide, obviously, the services that they do and products. So we don't have any tax dollar information on that, do we, on the build out or like?
I doubt it. I looked at John on that or
Yeah,
We don't
okay.
have it with us.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I agree with Shelby's comments, though. I think that they are I think what some of the things that were mentioned about Willows almost fits closer to the Civic Pride when
Right.
we were talking about
agree.
them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The big Y is more that build out what they did, bringing that whole center back to anchoring that plaza, which we needed.
Yeah, anchoring that plaza and for the services that it provides to kind of the west side of town.
Okay, there was a motion though for the Willows.
Yes, that's
right?
correct. Yeah, yeah. It was just the discussion portion. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Not approved.
So,
Motion.
do we have a motion?
Well, there is a motion
Yeah,
and
a
a second.
second.
So,
So,
you have, so
Yep, Mike, Willows of Westborough, yes or no?
Carol abstains.
Okay, Gingras,
Jingles, yes.
Danny?
Mayor, yes.
Williams, no.
Chapman, yes.
Bagden, yes?
Marshall, no.
Coker, no?
Leonardo, no.
Le Pen, no.
One abstain, 4-6. I mean, it's 4-5, excuse me.
Five.
5 no.
So we'll do
So
the big Y.
I would move to nominate Big Y as for the Large Business Award nominee.
Am I allowed to second that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I second that motion. Mike,
Carol approved.
Ginny,
Jingles, yes.
Mayor, no.
Williams, yes.
Chapman, no.
Bagden, no.
Marshall, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Le Pen, yes.
All right, so big Y's Large Business
And
Award.
what was that vote, Laura, please?
7-3. 1, yes.
731?
Wait, that can't be, yeah, and 1.
Yep.
New
Oh,
bus-
wait.
No,
No,
no. Hold
No,
on.
it was
5, 6, 7, and 3. That's 10. So it's 7-3.
7-3. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm like, look, staring right
All
at
little
it.
hash marks. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, yep, got it.
If I may.
Yeah, of course.
Before you vote on the next one, I'm a little confused to whether we nominated other people beside Brio.
That's what I was gonna.
I think we mentioned 2 others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we mentioned the, what's the New Mexican place?
Rancho
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 Allegra.
Allegra, yeah,
and Craft Lab. So those would both be new downtown business nominees, I would say.
yeah.
Or small business, I suppose. you could
Right,
do that way.
right. I mean, I think,
Wasn't post 22 put into that one?
Oh, yep.
Where did you put that one?
See, I think, again, in my opinion, post 22 would have been more a civic pride
Civic
one.
Pride, more nonprofit.
It's a, no- I
Because
don't
it's a
see that you can-
nonprofit.
Not, yeah, it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit.
so maybe a future,
Yeah, absolutely.
yep.
Absolutely.
So Rancho Allegra and the Craft Labs for the new downtown business.
Yeah, so my only thought, and I don't know, I shouldn't even comment, never mind.
Yep,
Sorry.
probably not.
Sorry.
I would agree with that.
So,
Yeah.
so of-
Actually recuse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've recused on this
Yeah.
matter.
So in terms of the category new downtown business nominees, we have Craft Lab, Rancho Allegra, and Brio 33. I would move that Brio 33 be selected as new downtown business.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Can we just talk through Craft Lab
Sure.
and Rancho Allegra a little bit more? I'm not able to do that. Just
Yeah.
I know that we were talking about with Brio that they came into a vacant space. I think we were saying that Rancho also invested.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Craft Lab, so I don't know if anybody else can speak to it.
Yeah.
I can say that Rancho also went into a very vacant space.
Craft Labs
So
did too?
Craft Lab is, well, she was here for an award. She has so she is a Westborough resident. She has a sort of marketing background and she really wants to bring more nightlife to the area. Folks that I know who have gone are very impressed and really enjoy going there.
Yeah. And I mean, I look at that as a true new downtown business. As it's walkable. You're there downtown. It's something that you can get to. It's for everybody. It's not just for adults. It's not just for kids. It really is a community, very innovative business. You know, I think it really is very inclusive for people of all walks of life of, you know, it's not a drinking establishment. It's open late so people can kind of go and enjoy, you know, doing things together. It's truly community oriented. And when I think about a downtown business and I think about what we want this downtown to be like, that's the kind of place that we want, is something that's welcoming, that people can go to, and, you know, and then I haven't been to Rancho Alegre yet, but it looks pretty
Me neither.
amazing.
And he's also a Westborough resident as well. So I think they're all,
All three.
Yeah, all
they're
three of them,
all
all
sort
three
of
of them. Yeah.
Westborough really centric, I think.
Yes, and so I'd like to advocate for Brio 33. Talk about a community that's come together. These are Westborough residents that came together to make sure that some employees that were not going to be out of work, to make sure that we continue with another new restaurant in here, because it's a whole other new restaurant, and it's really a community place. Eating is a community place. It brings people together for business, for personal play. They have an outside venue, which makes them unique compared to other restaurants in our area. And by the way, I'm a fan of all the restaurants in here, so I'm a fan of all business here, but I think Brio is just a story about community, because it's a community that came together to make sure that a lot of people weren't going to be out of work, invested in two young people to be able to run a business. And it's a great story where it does bring community together. So I'm just going to put my 2 cents in about Brio 33. I can't wait to go to Rancho Alegre, because I've been to the sister one in our other town. So it's probably pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
So
Who won last year? Do we know?
A seat to,
Seat to
seat to
staff.
staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My 2 cents would be that Craft Lab is unique, and I think that's, we could use more unique businesses in town and in the downtown area. I like that idea. I guess I have to, for the lack of very specific criteria, I start thinking in terms of total employment, resurgence of vacant space, gathering spots, meeting spots, places to bring people together. I will be honest, I have not been to Rancho Alegre at this point. I have been to Brio 33, so I can speak to that as a recommendation, that I think it meets those criteria.
Okay. Assam, anything? You've been very quiet today.
I think I will go with the Brio 30.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
I think there's
I think
one on.
there's one on the.
Oh, there was one on the table? Did someone
for
second it?
Brio.
I think Dave and Karen.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so for Brio 33, I'll start with Mike.
Carol, yes.
Ginny?
Gingras, yes.
Mayor, yes.
Williams, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Bagden, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Le Pen, yes.
All right, Brio 33, new downtown business nominee. Perfect. All right, last one. Fred Astaire Studio, Westborough Collective, Small Business Award nominee.
Can I just, it's not called Westborough Collective, it's called the Borough
Yeah.
Collective.
Gotcha, yeah.
Was there another nominee there too, or no? Was I mistaken?
I
on
thought
that?
that's where Craft Lab
We could
is
put Craft
also
Labs up there, too.
potentially. That's what I was going to say
You can add
before I
Craft Lab.
recused myself.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Well, can we add Craft Lab to the consideration?
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. So why not?
All right. Okay. All right. So let's get anyone want to have a discussion around this, around these three? Fred Astaire, you guys, Borough Collective, and Craft Labs.
Tough category.
Any discussion around that?
No, the only comment I have on
Can-
Fred Astaire, albeit they did take up a space and that's great, and they brought a business into town. It is a franchise. I don't know if this particular franchise owner has other spots. I don't know the actual owner. This is only spot.
This is his only one. I mean, the major investors were there for Grand Night, but the guy that owns this is the only studio that he owns right now.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Mike, what were you going to say?
Can somebody refresh me on the Borough Collective, what it is?
Yep, they are a group of small businesses.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a real community. Well, talk about reinvented space. That was open space, but it brings a community of small vendors together with some unique shopping to be done. What I also liked about this business is they partner with Westborough Connects for a lot of their events. They're very community oriented. They've done different things, but obviously bringing people into their community, but they host a lot of different nights, community events to bring other people in to see what it's like. But it really supports a lot of small business vendors that are in there. And so I feel like it's a destination point in one of our regions too, because it's just so unique in what it does.
Yeah, and more specifically, so it's in the location of the former Main Street Bank, right here on East Main Street. And it was also, it shared space with Hugo House Books, which was originally a pop-up initiative that was down further on East Main Street in the plaza across from CVS. And then after that kind of pop-up initiative ended, they moved into the borough's collectivist space and had a space there. Hugo House Books is, the owners since decided to pivot and do some other work, so they're no longer there. But the borough collectives has, it's kind of, I'd call it sort of like an antique craft store, where, I don't know if that's, I mean, they have, it's used items, a lot of used items, some new, and they also host, like, I know most, what I remember is they have had a couple different like art showings where they've had kind of in music and that kind of thing. I think that when Karen mentioned bringing the community together, those are some of the initiatives that I think of what they've done to kind of open their doors.
Yeah, I mean, they participate in the Halloween event. They do a lot of things as part of your downtown.
Yeah.
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 And they're also residents of Westborough.
Yeah.
Well, the owner is a resident of Westborough.
Yeah, we talked about Fred Astaire, we talked about Craft Labs. Is there a motion to nominate one of these three?
Can I ask, is Craft Lab a fully open business full-time now? Okay, because I wasn't sure.
I don't know if she's open full-time.
I believe that she's open, well, on appointment,
Yeah,
right? And then also 4 days a week, I
Okay,
think,
okay,
with
yeah.
Tuesday to Sunday, 2 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thursday,
okay, I couldn't
Saturday,
remember.
5
I
to 10.
remember it was like a lot of businesses, it's a phased-in approach and, yep, okay, thank you.
Nomination?
I don't know a lot about Craft Lab, but what you said, Sandy, made
Yeah.
me really interested
Yeah.
in that business. So
Yeah, so I would move to nominate Craft Lab for the Small Business Award.
Seconded.
Ginny?
Jingers, yes.
Dan?
Mary, yes.
Williams, yes.
Chapman, no.
Bagden, yes.
Marshall, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Leban, yes.
All right, so Craft Lab is the Small Business Award. All right. Well, the only thing we're waiting on is a sustainable business, so we'll talk about that, but we'll get Karen Henderson these names so she can get started on her work. Date-wise, are we set on?
It's January 30th. I just don't know if that's been arranged across the street. I don't know who's supposed to talk to the person there.
I took care of that.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you, appreciate that. Secondly is.
And we have an invite in our calendar, so thank you. Save the date.
I just want to talk about a little bit about the budget because there are other arrangements that need to be made. And if we're going to go with the caterer, I'll need to confirm that sooner than later. If we agree, that's the way to go. Secondly, it would be my recommendation to put out less food. There was a lot of food left over last year.
Yeah, there was.
And having do events on a regular basis, you always order less. So, because people just don't eat like that anymore. And I would keep it simple because finger foods is the way to do it, with some coffee and that. So that would be my recommendation. To work with Curry to do the name tags is fine. Christine McShane is the photographer. And then the trophies, we'd have to get a price to see if they went up. And that would be based on the number of trophies that we have. I don't know if I have the final report. I'm looking at something from 2024, what the final report and what was left over from that. Because the next step too is to go after sponsors for the event to cover all costs. So,
So why don't we get the cost for a continental breakfast, like something pretty easy
I
from the
think
caterer?
I think it was smart to have the quiches that were for, for your handheld and a couple of other things.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to work with her on that.
Okay.
Who catered it last year? Is it Elms?
Simply Delicious Elms Cafe.
Or, yeah, good. Okay, good, yeah.
Can I also throw in there that we have a new cafe opening in at 112 Turnpike, and they might be
Where's that?
That's
3 office buildings that are on Route.
the executive, executive office.
Past New York Deli? That one?
Yes,
Yeah.
right past it. Yeah.
Before you
and-
get to Bellows.
It's the, I don't know if they'll do any kind of catering. I thought but they are taking over the space. It's MAB community. So it's, and I think they're going to call it Sunshine Cafe, I believe.
I think maybe for
And I
next
think
year.
they got
think
their certificate of occupant.
Yeah, I think if because we're running behind, let's stick to, who knows us. If we can get a final budget, and Laura, you're gonna send out the sponsors, right? To us, the list of sponsors from last year, so we can.
I thought I did that last meeting, but I can absolutely send it
Okay.
back out again.
And then we'll just assign people to make contact with the sponsors to ask for money.
Yeah.
Once we get the final budget.
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
Let's see, the printing we know is pretty much at cost. The photography, I don't know whether anybody wants to put that out at bid or just say, let's do it again.
I think with our time frame right now, we just need to,
Okay.
that's my opinion.
What's our total budget? Can you just,
This was a 2024 budget. I don't know what the final one is. This is the year in review budget. So this is 2024. I don't know if this is the final one.
rough numbers?
But that's roughly correct, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think most of this is roughly correct.
What
what's the
what
total?
is it? What?
What's
I
the
Oh,
don't
I'm
have-
so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Total
That's
of
okay.
expenses was $3,641.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, most important thing for today was getting the nominees' names so that Karen can get started with her work. We can then go ahead and get started with, once we get the sponsor list. I'm not sure, I don't remember, honestly, if you sent it out or
Send it
not.
out again.
Everyone should take a portion of, contacting whoever you talked with last year.
Laura, you want to split those up? We can do that, yeah.
Do I want to?
Yeah.
No. I will send them out.
Yeah.
And I would also suggest that maybe there are other ones on this that you might, because
Yeah.
there's several that are no longer in.
Sponsors.
Contacting I'm sorry, contacting the
talking-
award people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry. Yes.
Do you want to do all of that,
Absolutely,
or
I'll
did
take
you
care
want
of
us
that.
to split it up? That's
No,
all.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was talking about the award.
But on sponsorships, what is that process? So we're clear.
So we'll get the list of sponsors from last year.
Okay.
And then we'll assign, people will say, I'll take this one, I'll take this
Okay.
one. Because some of us have relationships
Yep.
and we've already contacted.
But
so it's a
I
matter
think
of-
we could do better on that, honestly. I think if we can widen that pool
Yeah.
to people that are EDC friendly, I think we could double it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, so if we get the list, then we can add as we go.
Okay.
Based on our expenses, obviously the chamber would like to be a sponsor too, but if we can keep our expenses down, yeah, sure, I'd love to do it again.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Let's keep going. Business Assistant Grants Award, Aslam and Danny.
Okay. I have the.
And this is a review of the rubric and how we are going to be moving forward on the business assistance grants.
Thank you, by the way, for all your work.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
ROI.
Thanks. To you first. Okay, so on the screen,
This is gonna be the last part.
okay.
Islam, if you can make that bigger for some of our old eyes, I'd appreciate it. Once it gets
Yeah.
brought up. Thank
Wait a
you.
minute, what happened there?
No laughing in the audience, please.
No, not this one.
Thank God you asked.
In the
Same.
meantime, the work that you guys did on paring down the businesses and getting all this situated, we really, really appreciate it.
Okay, where do you want to start? I don't know what you want on this.
Are you using the last ones?
You sent me a PDF and then this is the one I mean, I haven't checked my emails during this meeting. That
I'm sorry, where are we?
this,
Yeah?
Okay, till it come to the screen, I'm just gonna
Yep,
give
that'd be
a
great. Thank
introduction
you.
for the thing. You're welcome. So me and Danny, we have been working on some recommendation to make the criteria which we choose the business qualified or not qualified for the grant a little bit easier. We use the same criteria which is already exists on the website, and we added a couple point in here. This is what we are here to discuss with you. So for the baseline testing, it's a pass or fail question, which is qualified or not qualified. We just added, I think, 3 points. One of them, business has not received a grant from Westborough in the last 2 years, just to make sure that we don't have the same business come every year.
Yep.
We give better opportunity for everybody.
Yep.
And the other one, we need to make sure that at least 2-to-1 matching fund for the grant. What that means that the grant shouldn't exceed 50% of the total project cost.
Okay.
And the other one is no outstanding tax for the town. I think it makes sense because if they owe money to the town, it doesn't gonna make sense to the town
Yeah.
to give them money.
That makes sense.
So this is the 3 points we have added. If you agree to it, we can add it to the criteria. And there is more filters. There is more option filters. It shouldn't go under pass or fail, but it might give us opportunity to filter more business and get the business on the top, which more qualified than others.
Is there any discussion on that first section? The grant, not received a grant from Westborough in the last few years, so we don't see the same people coming back. And then the 2-to-1 match. So if the project is $10,000, the max they could get is $5,000. If it's $6,000, the max they could get is $3,000. That's how I'm hearing it, right?
Exactly.
Is there any discussion around that first section?
Oh, sorry. If they spent 20,000
Yeah, then it could get up to, whatever that.
To 5.
up to 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This
Yeah.
is the cap for us anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. I understand.
So the items in red, row
Wait,
7.
which way is it? Can you clarify that? Because I heard very different ratios there.
Sure. So yeah, if the max that we normally give out is 5,000. So even if it was a $20,000 project, the max we would give out is 5,000 as per what we've been doing in the past.
But it is a 50%. So 2-to-1, right? So if they only spend 6,000, if they spend 6,000, they'll only get 3,000.
They'd be eligible for 3.
Eligible, excuse me.
But with the
That's
5,000,
1-to-1.
No,
That's 1-to-1. That's we give them $1 for each dollar. I'd just be very careful with what you're
That's true.
explaining there.
Okay, I think let's put
If
it
you're
in
saying
this.
50%,
Yeah,
I think that's
let's put it
up to
in.
$5,000.
Okay,
That's how I read it.
Yeah, let's put it in this
50%
way,
of the
make it
value of the
easier.
project up to 5,000.
So the grant won't exceed 50% of the total cost of the project,
up to 5,000.
up to 5,000.
Yeah.
So I don't have any issues with that. Does this come out of the rubrics? So I think there's a line on the rubrics for that now. So do we take that out of the rubrics and just make it a criteria?
it's not on there.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay,
No.
my apologies.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
As
But
long
this
as
is
the,
only for the new, so question here is we have 2 rubrics.
You just speak into the microphone.
We have 2 rubrics, one for existing and one for new business. So I just want to make sure, is this for everyone?
Yes, because it should be a pass or fail, qualified or disqualified,
Yeah.
before even we go to the scoring criteria.
Yeah. Yeah. And that way we don't bump into what we bumped into.
yeah.
Yep.
Islam, is there a place for what type of projects qualify later in this discussion, or do we discuss that now?
Yes, there is more.
There's more,
coming, yeah.
okay.
Okay. Keep going.
I don't know where you guys want me to go, so.
For
there.
yeah. So Danny, do you want to talk about the scoring?
I can't even see it. I apologize. The angle's tough.
Oh, you're right here, Danny.
Yeah, I can't read that either.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
Maybe 30 years ago. Sorry. I can come over there.
So we're looking at the scoring, and is a new business relocating to Westborough. Project will result in tangible long-term investment in the property, not rent, not equipment. Applicant is either committed to a long-term lease over 3 years with extension options or plans to purchase the property. Applicant is either a retail, restaurant, entertainment, health and wellness, or educational use. Project is located in the downtown business BB zoning district or downtown planning overlay. Business will occupy a property vacant for 12 plus months. Business will occupy a first floor storefront. Business has fewer than 2 other locations or is a first time franchise. Project will create 2 to 4 new full-time positions. And these are all scored in various numbers. Project will create 5 or more new full-time jobs in Westborough. Business is minority, women, disabled, or veteran owned. Applicant has received business counseling from SCORE, Mass Small Business, or CWE, Worcester Business Development, one of those kinds of arenas. Business is owned by a town or a town of Westborough resident. Business will use matching funds of 50% or more.
That was my point before, though. That would come out, would it not? The last category, business will use matching funds, because now we're making that a criteria.
Right, make that criteria, yep.
That was my point.
Yep.
I agree.
Agree.
Okay.
Do you want some discussion on these
I
elements?
think I just wanted to read them out. So.
Yeah, so oh, whoa.
Again, this was new business only.
Yep.
This was not existing.
Okay.
So,
There's a whole nother, there's a different.
okay, can you scroll up, please, Laura? So this is for new. Okay.
Just to clarify, we had things in red in the first category. Do we
Yeah.
have things in red in this category?
No.
So this is the same.
It's very much the same. We just edit a little bit, like the creating for 2 to 4 new jobs and 5 new jobs. It's just like better scoring. So if you bring more employee to the town, so you get more scoring. We just edit a little bit to the existing criteria.
Yeah. I think with the qualifiers, that's been the biggest thing is the qualifiers.
Exactly.
That's the things that we've been bumping into.
Right.
You know.
So, but you're giving a range of 2 to 4 employees?
Yeah.
Would it not be better to say that you get 1 point for adding 2 employees? 4 or more employees, you might get 2 or something like that? I don't know that putting a range in there adds clarity.
So 2 to 4, you get 5 points, but 5 or more, you get 10 points.
Okay.
So
Okay.
But it doesn't say that. Oh, does it below?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
But does
sorry.
this mean that, okay, so all right. But
Yeah, so-
if you don't create 5, then you don't get any points on that one,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Right. Right.
None of that, right.
Yeah.
What would you get? You wouldn't get both, though,
Well, if
correct?
you're a sole proprietor, you would get no points.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Right, because you're only
For
adding
either one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you're gonna score one or the other. So.
But it
not
has
both.
nothing in here for part-time either.
Well, we used to have something
Well,
about
it should be
what was
equivalent. It should be full-time equivalent,
equivalents, right?
in my opinion. Yeah.
So
it
you
should
could have,
be-
a matter of fact, you have something there, right? Full-time equivalent is
Yeah,
35
over to the
hours.
right, you have FTE, 35 hours.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's pro, if you had several part-time employees,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yep.
I think what's a little, if I may, I think the qualifiers are perfect. I think that's excellent. I think the confusion might be, are there changes from the existing rubrics? Are we suggesting, what those changes are? Or are we just adding the qualifiers? That makes sense if we're doing
Yeah.
that?
Well, it seems like both. We have the original baseline qualifiers, which are great. I think we all agree that that's sort of permission to play, so to speak. And then there have been a few tweaks within
the rubric, but
the rubric.
yeah.
That's what I've heard.
So here's the existing.
I know.
The definitions to the right
Yep.
are a little bit more helpful. for
They,
the scoring as
definitely,
well.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a suggestion that's probably not going to be popular here. I think we should continue this discussion, and Sandy, at whatever point you want to cap it, but I think this is a lot of information to look at on the screen and not have in front of us to digest, and then to come back with comments. So what I would say is that we have this as an agenda item for January, and we bring our comments in advance and share those through Laura or Sandy so that we're ready to discuss it. I mean, I think the discussion here is always good live, but there's a lot of information, and maybe I'm just a slow processor, but I
No,
can't.
I totally agree. If it would be possible to please highlight the areas that have been modified so that we can look at it ahead of time.
There's a lot of good work here, and I would love to
Yeah.
see, to be
Yeah,
able
no.
to see it. That's all.
Yeah. I think one of the other qualifiers we might want to look at is the location and having rented space or whatever the issue we had last time. We want to make sure that we don't bump into that again.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay.
Can you please scroll up to,
but in order to table that discussion so that we can move forward.
okay, so you
right?
don't want to have any more discussion
Yeah,
now?
I think,
Okay,
I
that's fine.
think we,
Perfect.
I think they're right. Go
I
ahead.
have a recommendation on that timeline.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna need to start doing these grants again, correct? So could you give us some time, like, here's the materials, we need feedback by this date via email?
Yep.
And then you're gonna synthesize that, maybe make your own recommendations based on that, and come back much clearer with a vote. Like, here's what's changed, let's vote. Because I think we're gonna get spun up again if we bring it back. But there's so much good stuff here. I think that might be the way to synthesize it and have it ready for the next session to vote.
And I think in fairness to the amount of work that you guys have done on it, like for us to be able to really take a look at it, I think that would, just to
Can I just ask Sandy, are we meeting again before our January meeting on the sustainable award winners for the EDC awards? Because we haven't voted on those yet. Do we
Yeah.
need a interim meeting of
like a virtual meeting.
a virtual meeting?
We can do that as long as we post it.
Yeah, no, as long as we post it, so
Right.
that's one question, and then not for necessarily this discussion, if we just want one agenda item, but I'm putting that out there as, that could be, I
So
don't,
that we can do the January. So to Mike's point, so we are ready for January with the new rubric. So,
I did put a request out to sustainability for nominations, and we don't have any yet, so I'll request that again and see if I can get out to everyone.
okay.
Sandy, if I may, though, I just wanted to, I'm sorry. Sure. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to clarify what Mike was asking. We can't have a debate by email, though.
No, no.
Okay.
But I can get the feedback and then be able to come back at our meeting, if we have an interim meeting on the Sustainable Westborough.
Just be careful. The feedback
Right.
has to go to you individually.
Correct.
We
Right,
can't
yeah.
do it as a group
Yeah.
discussion.
does everyone understand that?
So when you get the new rubric with the highlighted piece and you can compare it to the old rubric, if there's anything that you want to say or feedback, it has to come directly to me and not in don't CC everybody. It just comes directly to myself.
Because then it becomes a discussion and it's a violation of open meeting law, for those that are wondering why we're doing this.
So there is one more part to that. I don't know if you want to see it now or we send it all by email.
I think we should send it all by
Okay,
email.
this
right,
is
just to
the
be-
part we added, the how to track the ROI.
Okay.
This wasn't exist, so we will send everything.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
perfect.
great. Yeah,
Perfect.
again, I want to make sure that, all the work that you've done is, we've looked at it.
Sure.
and-
So to Mike's point, can we then, if we get that information by end of day tomorrow, let's just say the 3rd, is it reasonable for everyone to turn in comments to Sandy by Friday, December 12th?
I think if we get it by Friday,
Which kind of comments are we talking about?
the individual.
Feedback on what we're receiving from Islam and
Oh,
Dan.
okay, on this issue,
Yeah.
not on the
So if we can get the
sustainability
rubric-
thing.
Not on the sustainability,
confused.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
When were you suggesting for that for a date? Might want to throw that out there. If we're going to vote on that.
On the sustainability one, yeah.
Right.
We'll hear back from them hopefully by the end of the week, right, Dave, you think? And then,
I'll check. I'll check
Yeah.
with them.
And so again, I think if we use the 12th as the date for feedback.
But when would you want the vote? You'd have to post some kind of meeting. You're going to figure that out
Yeah.
later, or?
Do you guys want to look at the 16th in the morning? We can do a quick Zoom meeting on the 16th.
I'm available at early in the morning, the 16th.
Just do a quick 8 to 9 maybe.
We have 6 minutes left in the meeting.
The earlier, the better for me.
Works for me.
Can we do 8 to 8:30? Because we have one, this will be one item, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the quick sustainability. Yeah.
Okay.
So 8 to 8:30 on Monday, the 16th, or Tuesday, the 16th,
That's
Okay.
virtual, right?
virtual,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll send out every
Thank you,
other
Laura.
notice. And it's only on the sustainability, the EDC sustainability,
That's
right?
the only thing on the agenda.
So for the agenda, okay.
And so for our January meeting, then all the comments will have been received. Islam and Denny can look at the comments and you'll be ready to present an updated rubric on the grant criteria.
Okay, just to make sure that we are doing the right thing. So should I email everything to you, Sandy?
No.
Then you distribute it?
Send it, everything to me.
And, yeah, Laura will send it out.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that right? Are we all on the same page with the timeline?
So when are we trying to adopt the rubric?
I thought at the January meeting.
January 30th?
Yes.
Are we having an additional meeting in January?
January, like, 2nd or whatever the meeting
January
is.
6th.
6th.
Our meeting. It's the next
Fine.
meeting. And we don't do grants in January, we do them in February, right?
We generally do them the first of the first month of the quarter, but we don't have any,
Okay.
there's nobody has applied for any.
All right, so why don't we plan on finalizing the rubric in January and doing grants in February? Everybody good with that? Does there need to be a motion?
Say it again?
So instead of doing the grant awards that we
Yep.
usually do in January, we're gonna take that meeting, approve the rubric, and then
Yep.
do the grants in February. Perfect. Danny and Eslam, thank you for the work, and looking forward to getting through all that.
Job. Yep.
Yep. All right, next on the agenda, Shelby, have anything for ambassador civic engagement?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Mike, small business and downtown events?
Yeah, we mail campaign, I suppose,
Pass it
with
around.
about what's that, Laura? What'd you say?
I was just passing around what you had
So-
created, Mike. The window
Oh,
cling.
okay. Yeah, so we have the Introduce Shop Dine local Westborough. We have stickers. An email Laura went out to, I don't know, a lot of people, but hopefully that'll get passed around. Again, this is really just a start of something that we're going to keep building on for each major holiday. I mean, the goal is to try to keep each major shopping and dining occurrence as local as we can. So there'll be Valentine's and Easter and on and on and on to build off of that. So the idea is, again, keep people focused on shopping in their neighborhood as best they can. And, late start because I'm new this year. So we're just going to try to build on it each cycle. But Laura, what's the update on how many people have taken a sticker and how many people have registered? If you have one, you may not.
10 businesses?
10.
Yeah.
Yep.
11.
Yeah, that's great.
So I did have a question because last for the team, because when we had this meeting last, it was okay, we're going to put something on the town billboard and something will run in the paper, and I don't have an update on, but I would like to make sure we try to do that.
I requested that the information be put on billboards. I created something for the big billboard and I sent something for the little billboard. But as of this morning, I haven't seen anything.
Meaning you haven't seen a response, or you haven't seen it on the billboard?
I haven't seen it on the billboard.
I've seen it on the billboard.
The little one or the big one?
The one eastbound on 9.
Oh, good. So that one got up, but the little one
I
hasn't.
park there regularly and just,
You go through that?
How did it look?
I actually have done that. Funny you should say
Did
that.
it look good?
It was text heavy, I thought.
Okay.
My opinion. You
I
asked.
thought I made it very light, but
People are going by at 60 miles an hour, so
I
it's
know,
got to
that's
be
why-
as light as
It's every day
possible.
this is parked, yeah.
On a good day, 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
But
Westborough.
I'm still eager to get any material. If you want to send a copy of those materials to the community advocate, we will gladly donate space.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And I've definitely
Thank you.
been hearing a lot of buzz around Shop Local. It's been really good. It's all over Facebook. And so you guys are doing a really good job with all that. Fred, did you have anything else?
No, I said that was great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very awesome. Ginny, I'm going to move to you. Mike, do you have anything else? Sorry.
Nope, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for the work. And we're excited at how this is all going to flow out throughout the rest of the year and beyond. All right, Ginny.
Yep, for planning department, I just wanted to let everybody know that at tonight's select board meeting, our consultants for the downtown project will be making a presentation to the select board for basically just showing the recommendations for the downtown Rotary. And then it will go to the planning board on September 16th. We also have a planning board meeting tonight, and we actually changed it to be a remote meeting because of the storm coming in. And on that meeting, we do have an application for multifamily development on Milk Street and Route 9. So you can find more information on the website about that. And then we also have a public information meeting on December 9th at 6 p.m. in the Great Hall of the Forbes Building to talk about the East Main Street corridor project, which is a proposed shared use path that will run along East Main Street from about Thomas Newton Drive down to the Hastings School.
What date was that, please, Jenny?
December 9th.
December 9th?
December 9th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Ginny. Appreciate that. And Laura, community updates, EDC updates.
Yep, hold on. So all I really have is I wanted to just share new businesses. Rancho Allegra at 50 East Main Street, Progressive Insurance, 2000 West Park Drive. OES Equipment is on new building on Otis Street. And as I mentioned, Sunshine Cafe at 112 Road. We have also worked on some building permits. So these are ones that will be opening soon. We've got Chill Restaurant just received their building permit. Verizon cell towers, they're going to replace their towers and put in new ones. Avidia Bank is making tenant improvements. Shorelight Real Estate at 1500 West Park Drive is tenant improvements. Happy Play Day is a age 1 to 5 little play area for little kids. Cutler Management, making tenant improvements at 125 Flanders, and Ace Pickleball is coming in next to Ocean State or near Oceans in the Ocean State job lot. I am not aware of any new building purchases.
Awesome. Anything else? Great, thank you. Well, it's exciting. We've got some business permits and lots of improvements being made and business coming into town, which is what we want. So, all right. Is there any new business? We've covered a lot today, you guys. So
I have a question. Is tax classification hearing tonight? Because I sent my letter in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this a virtual or is this an in-person?
It is now remote because of the weather.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. Did this committee send a letter?
we did not
Okay.
send a letter.
I submitted mine yesterday.
Yes,
so
we got it.
You get
It's in the packet.
Okay, thank
Yep,
God.
yep.
Okay.
So for those wondering, this the select board annually has a process of determining the tax classification, which is essentially, do we want a single tax rate? What is the tax rate, and is it single or split between business and residential?
Yeah. And we've been a single tax rate for many, many years.
Yep.
I think one of the reasons that we maintain the tax rate that way is that we have advocacy and voices from the business community, and I think we kind of missed the boat as the EDC to present our viewpoint on that.
We did. Yeah. And I will take ownership of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anyone wants to comment on it now, I'm certainly happy to bring that forward as a member here while not a formal letter. So, through you,
Yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to comment. I think, as in the unique role of covering the news in 7 communities, we see a tug of war that goes on, and there is always a lot of visibility to the facts that tax valuations and in some cases tax rates are increasing. So one of the natural knee-jerk reactions is that, oh, well, we got to put more burden on the business people. And I think that that's a very short-sighted viewpoint, but it's a very easy talking point to say, oh, we need, let's loosen the burden on the seniors, let's do this and let's do that. It's not the whole story. The whole story is that when we discourage business, we impact the tax rate. If we decrease $1 on the residential tax rate, we increase multiple dollars on the commercial tax rate. And people don't realize that because the talking point is very simple to say, oh, we're going to lower burden on the residences. So I would strongly, strongly advocate that we retain a single tax rate in Westborough. I believe it's important for the health of our business base and for the health of our community's finances.
And I would agree with that. I think if we start to tax the businesses more than, and go to that dual tax rate, businesses won't give back as much. They won't sponsor as many things. You know, a lot of these people don't live here, but they do contribute to our community and to our civic.
Well, make no mistake, we're in competition with every surrounding town.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the chamber strongly advocates for it every year. Thank you for being on my board. That's why. Sandy too. I think the most important part about it is obviously unified when it comes to that. Our business community, we still have a lot of new business empty space in our community, and we certainly want to get that filled because that's what's people going to shop local, dine local, and do all those things. So we want to keep driving that business to our community.
I think just for context.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay.
I think for context too, many businesses are not themselves property owners. They lease
Correct.
space. And so people think, oh, well, increase on the businesses. It's really the property owner that gets the tax hit, and that's going to
Passes it
get
along.
passed on to the lessee. So who are often, solos or smaller businesses. So the other thought is that resources are not necessarily as heavily used by businesses, right? So certainly they're using the roads and the sewer and so on and so forth, but they themselves are not using the school services. They may be using police and fire support as needed, but it's certainly not at the same level and frequency as obviously residential. So
Do we need a motion for Shelby to present? Or,
if you want to.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do a motion to advocate for the single tax rate.
I second that motion.
Mike?
Carol, yes.
Drinkers, yes.
Mayor, yes.
Carol, yes, if you didn't hear me.
Gotcha.
Having a little internet.
Chapman, yes.
Bagden, yes.
Marshall, yes.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Lebanon, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Shelby will present that for the board. And my apologies for missing the letter. We'll make sure we get that next year.
That's okay.
Thank you, everyone. If there's no other new business, I appreciate your extra time today.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Marshall, yes.
Happy holidays.
Coker, yes?
Leonardo, yes.
Carol, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Mayor, yes.
All right, motion adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good holiday.